Alrighty, we are live as the 30-16-4 Red Wings head into Toronto to take on the 24-17-8 Maple Leafs. The last time we saw Toronto on this channel, Vegas came through with the 6-5 overtime winner. Totally underestimated Toronto after being gone from hockey for 15 games. Toronto was riding the struggle bus, but man, they showed up against us. That is for sure. Take a quick look at the last few games from each side. Red Wings beat the Senators in overtime in Detroit. Beat the Sharks 4-2 in Detroit. Lost 3-0 on the road to the Bruins. Beat the Hurricanes in overtime 4-3 at home. Beat the Canadiens 4-0 in Montreal. And beat the Canucks 5-1 in Detroit. So pretty steady group of wins, except for the one road trip heading to Boston, where I got to admit, seeing that score actually surprises me. But what are we looking at for an average? 4-4-4. That's 15, 24. So they're averaging 4 goals a game over their last 6. Taking a brief check-in on the Maple Leafs. 6-3 at home to the Wild. Woof. Did win in overtime against Winnipeg. In Winnipeg, though, 4-3. Lost to us in overtime 6-5. Back-to-back overtimes for the Leafs. They had 3 out of the last 5 games that Toronto has played have ended in overtime. And 4 out of the last 7. They lost 6-1 to the Mammoth, beat the Avalanche 4-3, and whooped up on the Canucks 5-0. So what are we expecting here? 3-3-5, so 11, 12, 16 over their last 5. 21 out of the last 6. So the goals for average is in favor of Detroit. Goals against, I didn't take a look at that. So let's see. 6, 9, 15, 21. Damn. 25 goals allowed in the last 5 games. For Detroit, you got 5, 8, 11 in their last 5. It's going to be a tough. On paper, this should be a great game for Detroit. We'll see how the goalie comes out. We'll see how the goalies for each side come out. I'm not sure yet if they're using Talbot or Gibson. Looks like Gibson played 3 days ago, so that's plenty of rest time. So really don't know what to expect there until we start seeing it pop up. Looks like they're getting ready to hit the national anthem. So we will still be a few minutes. Got to get you know what I actually do kind of want to see this. Oh, they got it. Yeah, they got to do. Oh, they're doing the anthem first, actually. Oh, shit, I never turned off the music. Okay, that explains a lot. I'm like, damn, dude, why are they blasting this crap music over the top of her? Because it's the YouTube free audio library playing over the top of her. We are going to keep the NHL info page readily available so we can check scores. Never mind, this is the only game till 6. Do get to take a peek in. Ooh, hang on. Hang on. Wait for it. No. There we go. All right, we're good. So we'll get through the anthem. Or I say get through. She'll finish the anthem. She'll sing "Oh Canada," and then we'll be on our way. But we do get to see. I didn't get to watch much of White Cloud the other night for his first game in Calgary. So check in on him against Pittsburgh. See how he does a little bit later. the 6 o'clock game being the Ducks and the Avalanche. I wish that was the early game. Much rather watch the Avalanche help us out a little bit, but I do think the better game is going to be between Detroit and Toronto. Still don't have our... Oh, yep. Nope. We should have our rosters now. Let's see. Hamilton, Raymond, Rasmussen, Comfer. I don't think Comfer played last game. Benny Lark getting Soderblom, Kane, Casper, and DeBrincat. Sherrod Johansson, Bernard Decker, Sedin Palika. Sider. Yep. Okay. So they're running the same crew. Jan Kroc, Nyes, Lawton, Matthews, Cowan, Wall, Michelli, McMahon, Robertson, Tavares, Benoit, McCabe, Carlos, Stetcher, Riley, and Ekman Larson. So both sides are running the same crew, the full crew that they've been running. I haven't checked injuries in a while, so I'm not sure who would be out for either side. See if we can catch up just a hair. We tend to fall behind by a few seconds, but hopefully we can keep it closer to about 20 to 25 seconds behind versus a minute and a half behind. Straight up hoping for the best. Damn, they just showed who was in goal for Detroit, but I was too busy dicking around. So it is Wool in for Toronto. So like I said, I believe last game Vegas played, we played Wool and we got 6 on him, including the overtime. I'm curious who we'll see, because Friday, the second half of our doubleheader is against Toronto in Toronto. We play Boston on Thursday, and then we go to Toronto, and that kicks off our Canadian run. All right, puck drop. Detroit wins it off the opening into the Toronto zone, backhanded right back the other way. Sider gets back, and Detroit's going to work it up to Brinkett into the zone. A quick shot fought off by the blocker, Wolf. Carlo tries to take it into the corner. It comes free, but Riley not able to catch up to the puck. Comes back around to Carlo, and he's able to get it out after taking a hit. Detroit from their own space, heading back into the neutral. Sider all the way across the ice. A great stretch pass, backhand towards the net in the air. And it hits. Wool catches it, decides after a minute to drop it, and now Larkin feeding it to the middle, gets away from the man he's trying to pass it to, but Larkin's able to recover and take a shot that goes wide. Puck on the low boards. Matthews gets it up through neutral. Domi looking for a place to go with it. It's back into the Toronto zone under pressure. McCabe able to fight it out into neutral. Matthews flubs the dump in. Domi able to fight through Larkin and get it in. Domi back to Matthews from the low dot. Quick shot, and it is swallowed up by the legs of the Detroit goaltender, who now I can check who that is. It's, no. It is Gibson. It's Josh Gibson in there. Very curious to see how he does. I didn't know he was in with Detroit now. Okay, I'm going to be a lot better calling Toronto just for the fact that I've watched enough Toronto games. I'm going to do my best when it comes to Detroit, but I don't recognize numbers as well with them. DeBrincat, Cop, that's 18. Kane's 88. Raymond's 23. Rasmussen's 27. Okay. Just getting to see numbers and names on the bench like that works out pretty well. Comfer battling with McCabe. Puck comes back into neutral before Detroit takes it offsides. Face off coming across the Toronto blue line. Damn, dude, Toronto's got 7 wins in the last 8 home games with 22 goals against. That's not bad. Well, actually, they're having just shit. I'm not going to lie. But they've been able to win. Ooh, puck comes through the middle, completely missed by Van Riemsdyk. However, Detroit's able to recover from the low point. Shot makes it through on the ice, stopped by the left pad of Wool. Tavares fighting for it in the corner. Dubois trying to help him out. Going against Van Riemsdyk, pinning him to the wall. Eventually, puck comes a little higher up the corner, but right back down. All the way to the low point, but it's cut off by Michelli. Through the stick of Sedin Palika into neutral. Detroit dumps it right back in. Everybody's going to get a change as Benoit collects the puck behind Wool. Pass to the high side, all the way out through neutral, stopped and sent back into the Toronto space. Dubois goes back out to neutral, brought right back in, trying to get some help leaving the zone. Finally, they do. But immediately taken by Detroit in their own territory. Sider throws it all the way up ahead to Rasmussen. Puck gets loose, shot from the top of the high circle, stopped by Wool. Good stick by Walt to get it in the zone, but it's just offsides as he gets held up. Couldn't fight through. A good defensive stick on the Detroit side. Rasmussen, just a great pass to Sedin Palika. Puts the shot right in the crest of Wool. You got to go corners, man. Riemsdyk looking for somebody to hand something to. Everybody, it's funny watching the Detroit players like, what the fuck is that, dude? Off the offside face-off, Detroit wins it, gets it all the way up ahead. No icing. Carlo trying to back in it to Riley, going up the low boards and not outs. Shot from the low point, stopped by Wool. Toronto not able to get it clear. Back towards the net. It hits Carlo way out high. Matthews takes it into neutral. Riley into the Detroit zone, trying to get it up ahead to Matthews. It hits something and goes into the low corner. Who's that? Bernard what? Bernard Docker. I knew Bernard. McMahon recovers. Great steal on the back check. Domi back to McMahon. A big shot. Stopped by Gibson, and the rebound shot off the low circle. An easy catch for the left glove. Then it was just a quick turnaround, and that pass to Domi from Riley. Or sorry, McMahon. McMahon steals it, gets the puck to Domi, gets to an area where he's open, pass back to McMahon, shot, stop, loose puck at the top of the low circle, follow-up shot, easy glove save for Gibson. Big shot from the low point, misses the net. They had Gibson beat. Tavares fighting for it, comes away with it all the way through the middle. No Detroit sticks, blocking the lane. Puck back down behind Gibson. Up the low boards. Ekman Larson gets taken down as he makes a play for the puck behind the net to the high boards. Detroit. Comfer that's Raymond with speed. Looking for the pass in the center. Misses everybody. As no red and whites were in the area. Hang on a second. Is that? I can never remember. One sec. No, okay. And 22 minutes on the ice for McCabe. Like, they're stretching those guys out, bro. All right, who is that? Comfort gets backed out off the dot, but then steps back in. However, Tavares wins the faceoff. Puck sent all the way into the Detroit zone. Sherratt sends it right back the other way. No icing, collected by Wool. Sent up the high boards. Gets stopped in the corner. And now Finney misses it as Toronto's able to recover. Benoit avoids a hit as he dumps it in. Lorentz down low. Fighting against Sherratt. Puck up the high boards. Another battle happening on the high wall between Comfer and Lorentz. Oh, no, that's not Lorentz. Who's 28? Lawton towards the net, looking for a tip off Lorentz stick. Not able to get it. I think 28 is Stetcher. Oh, right up front. He scores. Lawton with the goal. Damn it. Why isn't this going off? Oh, that's right. Hang on. Goal, Toronto. Yeah, it was just a matter of Toronto fighting to keep the puck inside and Detroit losing track of who was on the ice. It's the same problem Vegas has over and over again. The whole team, if you cut the ice right down the middle from the face-off dot through the goal, anytime you have 5 of the same jersey on one side of the ice or the other, you're in a bad situation because everybody's drifting away. And sure enough, whether he came off a change or just looped back around once he realized his teammate took control of the puck, everybody was going to play the puck and they just abandoned what was happening behind them. Well, if you're in that situation, you have to be aware of the other team vacating to go on defense. Ooh, a quick shot by Rasmussen, stopped by Woll right at the top of the crease. Great attempt for the Red Wings as they go right on the attack. A shot from the high point. Misses everybody. Puck bounces to the middle. Detroit recovers. Pass down the low boards. Looking for a place to go out front. And Rasmussen right up close. Stopped by the stick of Woll. Toronto goaltender doing a great job facing 4 shots. Making sure it is a 1-0 game. That was a hell of a job. Who's the 13-year-old that's playing on Toronto right now? I don't recognize him. Oh, that's Cowan. Okay. What a play right up front. I mean, hey, great job by Rasmussen, but Woll just being very aware. Oh, yeah, no, that's a good call. That's not a ref, you suck. That's a...
Shame. Shame. Shame.
That was a good penalty call. 14:23 to go in the first period. Shots of 4 apiece. Toronto taking the lead as they break the ice early. Face off won by Toronto. Cleared all the way back down to Gibson. Sider collects from behind his own net. Leaves it back under the pressure by Lorentz. Raymond cuts up through the middle with speed. Pass goes up the high wall. Lost for a moment. Return and shot hits a body out front. Van Riemsdyk down low trying to make a play, but Toronto's going to be able to clear it all the way back down. Sider again setting up from his own zone. Raymond making the pass across, back to Raymond, into the low boards. Van Riemsdyk from the low point goes across the blue line. Recovered up high, sent back by DeBrincat, back to DeBrincat, back to the blue line, back to DeBrincat, top of the high circle. He shoots, stopped by Woll, loose puck. Going for the stuff 5 hole, but Woll gets his legs down. Boom, pass. Open up the space, and all of a sudden that speed activates for DeBrincat, and it's more the quickness. The slow drift to the blue line, followed by a hard cut back inside, crashing the net. So as the defenders are separating, one's following high, one's watching the pass, you get that gap to cut in. Just a really good read from both sides with the give and go, and then cutting back hard. Oh, Lorentz, heavy pressure on Sedin Palinka. Puck comes out. Detroit's in trouble. Toronto, shorthanded, is going to send it back to Carlo. And Carlo goes back up to neutral. Toronto just killing time. 35 seconds to go on the power play. 7 minutes gone in the period. Great job by Lorentz. That's more than... See, Detroit's being very lazy about their leaves, about their back passes, their leave passes. Puck in the high corner of the Toronto zone. Detroit ends up with it in the low corner. Kane skating up the low wall all the way across. High dot. Good stick by Matthews. Disrupts that one-timer. Detroit controlling behind the net. Benoit almost gets tripped, but a great pass by Kane sets up a great shot and 2 great saves by Wool. Holy cow, almost said Stellaris because I forgot his name, but Wool is fantastic. Nice, trying to feed it across the center as they go back the other way. Now 5-on-5. Detroit able to stop him. Riley goes for a hard angle shot off the low boards, and it is caught by Gibson. What a job by Wool. That turnaround on Comfer right there. Comfer has to know to go. I mean, it looked like he was trying to go right post, but with the way that Wool's moving, man, go back, go to the other post. He tried to go. His goal was make sure it's between the bars, and he did that. But he put it in one of the few places where it wasn't the most difficult save probability wise. It was an incredible save from start to finish, but probability wise, he made it a lot easier. But man, just 2 great opportunities, and Wool is being a brick wall. Actually, very impressed with how he's playing right now. Oh, I almost forgot his name, dude. Like Seth Rogen, Pineapple Express was all right. That was the only one I ever really. I mean, his cop character in Superbad was all right. Everything like I couldn't get into Knocked Up or whatever the other one. There's another one that was stupid like that. But now lately, man, go away. Oh, whoops, I forgot to switch over here to make sure we are running solid. Cool. Curious to see I wonder which loss hurts more. Man, all losses hurt. That's the one thing I haven't talked about yet. Obviously, rocking the UM wipe, which we'll keep that for starts of the period. Rocking the sweater just because, man, if I don't, I ain't a bitch like that. If we lose, we lose. I'm always going to rock my team, but damn it. Blocked punt because our tight end decided that he didn't want to block. Field goal miss that could have given us a chance to go into overtime. And Shannon Dawson being the worst offensive coordinator in the history of college football. Every game for the playoffs started like shit because he refused to just run the damn ball. All right, anyway, sorry. Puck in the Toronto zone. McCabe's going to catch it behind the net. It's going to get past Michelli. He has enough space to recover, though. Tavares trying to work through the middle, and that was offsides. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure. Unless Detroit took it over themselves. Doesn't really matter as everybody clears. Hang on, I got to bring up the list again. Sorry. Like I said, Detroit, I don't know. Toronto, I know. Detroit, I am much more at a loss about. That was Edvinson. All right, Matthews feeding it across through the middle out of his own territory. Now Riley with the step. McMahon on his right trying to feed McMahon, and Riley cannot get it through the sea of skates in front of him. Matthews recovers, takes it to the blue line. High point, looking for a place to go. Across the blue line to Domi. Top of the high circle shot, and a big flash of the leather by Gibson to freeze the puck. 10:41 to go in the first. Riley had a step, but man, that step disappeared very quickly. Good defensive play by Detroit. 10:41 to go in the first. Shots are 9-7 Toronto as the Maple Leafs lead 1-0. Shot from the blue line by Toronto. Hit somebody right out front. Hit Casper right out front. Stays in the zone. Battle in the high corner between everybody. Casper still fighting for it. Detroit still fighting to get it out. Finally, they get it to Bernard Decker, who gets it up the low boards. All the way ahead to Raymond, trying to reach back to the middle. A great attempt at a pass, but McCabe was there to cut it off. Larkin was looking at a great entry on that one. Or a great attack on the net. Johansson now for Detroit in front of Gibson, looking for a place to go. Wall adding the pressure, but he'll slide it off to Bernard Decker. All the way up ahead, tipped in. Comfort fighting for it. Cowan comes away with it. Back the other way again. Toronto. Riley gets it across the blue line. All the way back behind the net. Fed to the middle by Cowan. Robertson takes a shot, and I think Sedin Palika got a stick on it. Robertson's feeding it back right out front of the goalie. Cowan unable to stuff it past. Detroit now working their way back out into neutral. Finney gets all the way deep behind everybody in that high corner, waiting for his crew to come on from a change, but the good work of Carlo and Riley strip it away. Little bit of sloppiness for Toronto as they try to leave the zone again. Now they do. Edmondson swallows it up in neutral. Gets it back ahead for Detroit. Controlling the zone. Down the low board. Skating to the net. A quick shot. Good stop by Wool. Who is that? That was on Soderblom. Making great moves. Just following that low wall down and making a hard cut. Appleton now on the low boards. Able to get it down behind Wool, but it is recovered by Toronto. Nyes now trying to work up into the Detroit corner, but it's going to be carried right back out by Soderblom. He is doing such a great job protecting the puck. Not a lot of development in the way of action, but he's keeping it alive and keeping it safe. Actually done a really good job in the first half of this period with doing that. Now Detroit headed back the other way. Right, Brinkett with a step. McCabe goes down as he loses it, and Kane puts it off the ass of Carlo. Wool on his back, completely out of place, and Carlo makes the big Forrest Gump save and knocks it away. Michelli off the rebound, gets it ahead to Nyes from neutral, tossed to Matthews, but it's sent back the other way by Detroit. Right into the Toronto zone. Kopp feeds it to Kane, who shoots, and the left pad save of Wool. Up to the high point, down the high wall. DeBrincat looking for a place to go. Back to the point. Shot on net. Saved again by the left pad of Wool. Down low, looking for a place to go. Up to the low point. Raymond feeds it across the blue line, down to the middle. But unable to handle the pass as McMahon gets the puck ahead to Benoit and dumped deep. Domi trying to chase down Raymond. Not a whole lot of effort in it, but he did. McMahon with a great back check. Puck recovered by Domi. Gets it to Lawton, who gets it to a crashing Stetcher. Unable to make the play as the puck feeds back out into neutral. 7 left to go in the first. Shots are 11-8 Detroit. Gibson sets up the low wall. Great pass to squeeze the puck out of the zone. Casper going against Riley down the low boards. Riley making sure he gives him the abuse he thinks he deserves. Larkin work up the low wall, hits skates out in front of him as he tries to put the puck towards the net. Good little move by Lorentz to get some safe room to travel, and he's into neutral, hits the red line, dumps it deep into the Detroit territory. 6 1/4 to go in the first. Soderblom tossed. That wasn't Soderblom. That was Edmondson, tossed it up ahead, but it's quickly returned. Wall across the blue line on the low point. Sends it high across the blue line. Carlo puts a shot on, and again Gibson makes the flashy save as the puck is creeping past his ear up over the left shoulder. Dude, Kane is pissed. Carlo just went down on a knee, and like I said, he took the Forrest Gump, man. Puck went right off his ass and back to the backboards. I wanted to watch Colorado and Anaheim. However, I had a feeling this was the game to watch. And so far, I am not disappointed. It actually has been a really good game. I expected a lot more physicality. That's for sure. We'll see. Let's what is the other game? Are the other games tonight? You got Ducks and the Avalanche, Flyers and the Mammoth, Penguins and Flames, Islanders, Krakens, Caps and Canucks. See, none of those really even seem like the Penguins and the Flames may be a really good game because they're both. I mean, Flames are 21, 23, and 5. Penguins are 23, 14, but 11 ties. So that's actually, there is potential for that one to be a good game. Plus, we get a check in on Whitey. Very curious to see how he's going to end up working out in Calgary. I think he's happy to be in Canada. Fuck, I already miss him though. It's if Korzak was worth something, then we should have gotten rid of him. But our options are like Korzak and Lazan aren't worth enough to make a trade like that. Whitecloud obviously is. But damn it, I really like McNabb and Whitecloud have been my boys since forever. I really, really like Ben Hutton too. Last year pissed me off because he never played, and Korzak was there to just suck ass. It made me miserable. And then Ben Hutton comes in, he's blocking shots, great back checks, he's scoring. It's like, oh yeah, you idiots. And I'm willing to bet it's management, not Cassidy. All right, here we go. 6:02 to go in the first. Face off to the left to Gibson. Sider collects and gets it up to Appleton, who's able to get it out. Benoit from the low corner trying to reset it back into neutral. Puck ends up off a Cowan's stick. Back behind the net. That's a lot of trouble. Wall now fighting for his life as he's taking on 2 Red Wings. And Wall eventually able to come away with it. Ooh, great pass across the blue line. Wall with a quick shot stopped by Gibson. I was waiting for the pass, but great connection. Another shot stopped by Gibson. Wall looking for the tip up close. Eventually Detroit gets it out, and it's going to be an icing. Went for the pitch and wedge towards the goalie. And it did not back up on him. What a pass by Cowan to Wall. And Wall ends up hitting the post. A great shot going up off the left side of Gibson, up off the glove side. Just not able to beat the post. That was great, though, man. I miss Nick Wall a lot, too, but his play changed once Carrier went away because Wall's a dog, but he's not fast. So Carrier was the speed for our fourth line. Dude, him, Carrier, and Colasar were great because Colasar was the bigger body. Carrier was the speed guy. And Wall was just that plug and play, just a dog on the boards. He could make the passes. He was fine defensively. Maybe not the best defensive forward in the world, but he did enough to help us out. When he got an opportunity to play with like Riley Smith or Willie Carlson, he took advantage. He was keeping up with that again. He got on the ice with Carlson, and those two just fed off each other because all of a sudden Wall got way more aggressive on the boards. But, oh well, now we get to watch. Just keep watching, everybody. It all started with LT. So what we got going on for tomorrow? I think, yeah, tomorrow starts our back-to-back. So we do have 2 early games, 4 o'clock for the next 2 days, I believe. Yeah, so we play the Bruins tomorrow at 4, and then we play Toronto Friday at 4. So we've got a couple of good days of hockey to come. Anybody else playing tomorrow? Panthers and Jets should be a pretty fun game to watch. I have a feeling those two are going to go at it in a similar way. Maybe not as aggressively, but a similar way to the way San Jose and Florida went at it. Redwings have a back-to-back with the Wild tomorrow. That might actually be an interesting game to watch. Mostly just because of how it was. Mostly just because how Detroit and Toronto are playing right now. Friday. Man, there ain't shit. I'm glad. Okay, cool. We don't have to suffer through the bad hockey. We get to watch the night. Well, I say that. We get to watch the Knights play Thursday, Friday early. And then all the other hockey that does, none of it really looks good. All right, face off from neutral, won by Toronto. We get a delayed offsides, and then it's blown dead with nobody on Toronto touching it. So I'm slightly confused why that was blown dead. Doolittle literally fell backwards into the zone off the face-off. Detroit wins it, and we should have just played on anyway. Puck up ahead and right back into the Detroit zone. I keep wanting to say Denver. Puck goes up out of play from neutral. Another face-off coming, I believe, just outside the Toronto zone on the high dot. Toronto wins it briefly, but immediately recovered by Detroit. Dumped in Carlo in his own high corner. Down around the low boards. McMahon able to get it up into neutral. Domi has it into the zone, trying to pass it ahead for Matthews, but he was a step too slow. Good defense by... Who is that? Battle on the high boards. DeBrincat ends up with it, feeds it out. Riley there to put it right back on Matthews' stick, but a great defensive play by Detroit. Now, why DeBrincat took it in the zone, I am confused. It worked out for him, but man, that was a risky decision instead of trying to work it up the low boards across neutral. Dumped right back in. McCabe gets there first under heavy pressure, though. Tavares gets it to Nyes, who gets it to Benoit, and Toronto is clear. To the red line. Good play by Sider to knock the puck down. Raymond passes it up to Edmondson, who gets it down to the Toronto zone, but it looks like I know his name. Detroit was offsides. I know his name. Shit. What's his name? I don't want to cheat. I'm sure I'll see it, but all right. I'll figure it out. Benoit feeding it up ahead. It's Casper. That was Casper. Jesus, that was going to kill me. Nice. Trying to dump it deep, but can't get it anywhere. Tavares ends up knocking it across the blue line. McCabe in a foot race. But now Tavares breaks in off the low baseline, trying to wrap around. Almost gets under the pad of Gibson, but Gibson is able to stay flat enough on the ice. Puck right back in from neutral. Nyes goes down as him and Raymond crash into each other. From neutral, Detroit backhands it in just wide of Wool, who thought it was an icing, so he lets it go. Works out either way for Toronto. Up the high boards. Fed through the middle, and Detroit recovers. Back all the way through everybody. It got tipped, so no icing. Riley there first, trying to work it up the low boards. Comfer in there to wreak havoc. Gets to Van Riemsdyk. A quick shot blocked by Wool. Stetcher gets it up to Cowan. Going the other way. Cowan with the great pass to Wall. Going for the backhand, and he goes wide. Good pressure on the back check. Another shot by Cowan. Hits a skate in front of him. He chases it down to the high point. A good stick. Blocks the pass of Finney. And then after a little bit of light contact, we have the offsides called. Tavares just went full speed down the high boards, and Edmondson just couldn't keep up with him. And then that pass to Wall. Wall just couldn't get it flat on the back of his stick. So he just never had control during the shot. Man, this is actually a really fun game. 12 shots are 12-11 in favor of Detroit. 2:07 to go in the first. Lawton on the dot. Ends up winning it. McCabe gets it to the Rents. Looking for a place to go. It's dumped in. Sorry, that was Lawton. Lawton then passes it around the boards, hoping to catch the Rents, but it's stopped by Gibson. Detroit. Appleton works his way through neutral. Toronto stick sends it back into their own zone. McCabe takes a little bump. But Detroit able to have a little bit of control right behind the net. McCabe putting on hard pressure. Appleton trying to get in for help. Rasmussen not able to get any control. Puck sent all the way back down the other way. At Arvidsson. Back up to the low point of the Toronto zone. Jumped in, chased down. Detroit has it, trying to work the low corner. Riley put on a good defense. Puck comes out high boards. Outside the circle into the corner. Kopp sends it to the high point. Quick shot. Doesn't make it through as Appleton was looking for the tip. A great move by Kopp to get some space. Back to the blue line. Low point. Bernard Decker passes it up ahead of Comfer, who loses it, but he recovers, trying to get it to Kopp. Kopp can't find the puck between his own skates. Eventually, bodies pile up in the crease. It's still loose. No good as everybody's laying on the ground. Fed back across the middle. A puck hits something, bounces up in the air, but misses the net. And now, after Detroit skater loses his legs, Lorentz just fucked that up terribly with Lawton. Lawton made the pass. Lorentz crosses the blue line, then chucks it up out of play. 30 seconds to go in the period. What the hell just happened right there? Let's see. Puck right up front. Wool makes the save. Bodies laying everywhere. The whole right side of the net is open, and the dude finds a way to hit Wool's pad. Holy, the entire high half of the net was wide open, and he put it across the goal line enough, or across the crease enough, to where he hit Wool's pad. And I mean, literally 50% of the goal was open for him, and he still manages to hit Wool's pad. What a job by the Toronto goaltender. Raymond coming the other way. Detroit has a 3-on-2 if they're able to get across cleanly. 2-on-1, looking for the pass, and he shoots, and he scores. I keep saying Ardvinson, and it's Edvinson. I just want to make sure that I'm aware of that. But, I mean, just a great job by Detroit to rush back the other way. 3-on-2, a great stop up at the blue line. And is that Larkin that made that pass? And then Raymond down low makes a beautiful centering pass to Edmondson, and he buries it on the open net. 17.7 seconds to go in the first, and Detroit ties it up 1-1. Absolutely fantastic hockey, clean hockey. We've had one holding penalty on Toronto, and I don't know if I've seen anything that I would actually argue. Like, may have been a couple instances where it's like, that might, you may have been able to call. You might have been. I wouldn't be mad if you did call this, but I mean, to be honest, I haven't even seen much of that. It has just been really good, really fast, clean hockey, which is awesome, man. This is why we come here. I'd like to see it be a little more physical. Neither side has really been doing too much in the way of checking. I mean, you'll see the hits lined up, and they kind of just go in and they kind of, but like Detroit's not playing like Detroit usually plays. Toronto, I expect more out of Toronto, but lately, I mean, when they played us, I was surprised at how they looked, but you got to remember, this is only the second time I'm seeing them since the beginning of the year, where they were soft and they were shit. Oh, I'm going to see this. But yeah, so far, great game, man. It's been actually a lot of fun. Make sure all my stuff. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Everything is set up for our return. Since it is a little quiet and it is first intermission, no other games are going on at the moment. We're getting close to 5 o'clock, so hopefully by the time second intermission comes around, we'll have the Colorado Anaheim game going, and we'll be able to watch that while we're away on intermission. But until we hit that time, same old same as usual. You guys enjoy yourselves. Grab a drink, grab a snack. I am dropping frames like a mother, but hopefully that fixes itself by the time we get back. I will see y'all in a few minutes. All righty, y'all. We are back for the second period in Toronto as Detroit, with 17.7 seconds left, was able to tie up the game. What's up, Mercs? How you doing, buddy? Happy Wednesday. So far, it's been a really good game. Like I said, a clean game. You had a holding penalty early on Cowan against Toronto. But since then, it has been almost a gentle game. Not a lot of physicality coming from either side. I'm doing good, buddy. Thank you for asking. So yeah, I expected, like I said, I expected Detroit to play a little bigger, a little heavier. Toronto's basically playing the way I expected, but the amount of times that the Red Wings have had shots lined up that they just didn't take actually surprises me. Lawton and Kopp to start us off, and we will drop the puck again. Let me make sure I got the TV muted, and let's get the volume back up. All right, on the re-drop, Detroit able to get it into the Toronto zone. Kopp fighting on the high corner, getting it to the middle, but Toronto recovers. Puck sent in. Lawton. Oh, I got Lawton and Stetcher. Oh, Yarncroc. I forgot about him. Okay, I've had a couple of numbers mixed up. That's on me. The Brinket through into the Toronto zone. Kopp off the low boards, trying to get it into the corner to Brinket. Wrapped up. Lorentz coming in. Kane there to help out his teammate. Puck comes up the low wall a little bit. Yarncroc able to get it back behind the net into the opposite corner. McCabe up the high wall to Lawton, who sends it back into the Detroit zone. Sherratt back the other way. Great pass. Charging in is Casper. He gets hit, and the puck comes off his stick as he's crossing the Toronto crease. Raymond gets it back the other way. Larkin into the zone. Raymond looking to get a tip off of Casper. It goes wide to the low boards. Domi back into neutral. Hits the red line. Tosses it in and around. High corner. Everybody going for it. Matthews able to get up the low board. Stetcher takes a shot, and it's knocked down. Well, some eggs have to have him go. Yeah, I'll stay up for the Pens game. Hey man, that's the one tough spot about being on the East Coast. Okay, so real quick, Wall actually took Casper out but knocked the puck away. But yeah, that's a bummer, man. That's whenever they come out west, you get those late games. But so that's one of the tough parts about being East Coast. Being out here, I get to watch everything. Usually wraps up about 10. That's the one good thing about being over here, because it does suck when the games are at 7. When you got stuff to do in the morning and it's a 7 o'clock start, that's a pain in the ass. I can't imagine having like a 9:30, 10 o'clock start, man. What did I do to my finger? I either burned it or scraped it on some game tomorrow because, yeah, it doesn't have school Friday. Nice. Right on. We're taking on Boston tomorrow. If you guys aren't doing anything about 7 o'clock your time, I'll be here. Michelli with a big shot stopped way out high by great positioning of the Red Wings. A little bit of a trip right there as Nyes gets taken down, but no call. Michelli keeps it in, goes to Nyes in the center, but the Wings collapse on him. Stetcher from neutral, backhands it down the high boards. Gibson, little bit of a slight misplay. He's not able to get it clear off the low point. Michelli in the high corner battling for his life against Johansson. Confer in to help out. Sedin Palika's in there to help out. And out of all of that, Robertson comes out with the puck. He's able to get it to Wall, still fighting in that corner behind the net. Robertson backhand out front, a shot by Riley, and a great pad save by Gibson. Johansson Van Riemsdyk going the other way. But he'll lose it in his own zone. So he'll be home along all day. Oh, okay. Little Mercs will be here. Nice. Right on, man. Definitely, well, like I said, we'll definitely hang out tomorrow, man. So he will be home alone all day. I'm sure he'll be down there slinging pucks, dude. Rasmussen tries to set up a pass across the crease. Nobody home. Into the high corner, the Toronto zone. Wall. Biden comes away with it against Soderblom. That's a big body. Wall just manhandled right there. I told you, Wall is a dog. That's why I enjoyed him being on our team so much. Pass up the low boards. Edvinsson takes a shot from the low point. Gloved by Wool, and we'll have a face-off in the Toronto zone. So, little shy of 4 minutes gone in the second period, and this has just been everything the first period was. Space says, yes, be slamming pucks all day. Yeah, that makes sense. I figured. No, that's awesome, man. Dude, back in my day when I was home alone, that meant Judge Judy and Maury and maybe some Ricky Lake, Price is Right. If I remember to flip to the channel, Murder, She Wrote, a little bit of MASH. Like, dude, that was me being home alone all day. Occasional soap opera just to have something in the background. All right, 4 minutes gone in the second period. Shots are 16-12 Detroit. Believe we ended the first period. Shots were, actually I could check. At the end of the first period, the shots were 15-12. So keep that in mind as we're working our way through this period. You hated MASH? If I get back into watching that, dude, I loved MASH, man. My dad had it on all the time, and I was a big fan. Oh, that looked a little bit trippy. There we go. Penalty coming to Detroit. I'm guessing they're going to be going at it. That was a bullshit hit, dude. Carlo's a big boy, and he went down hard. I think that was Carlo that went down. Let's watch it. Yeah. The Bernard. Oh, and as soon as he got up, he knew he was about to get his shit pushed in because he immediately went into defense mode. It wasn't as trippy as it looked. I thought for a second, that's Bernard Docker. I thought for a second he stuck his left leg out, but it was his left hip to the inside of Carlo's left, or is that whoever got hit? It was into the inside of the left hip, so he went flying. The problem with it is that it was late because that puck was clear, and Bernard Docker almost got a hit, almost broke his own neck going into the boards. Riley leaves it off to the top of the circle. Big shot. Riley misses everything. Riley swoops it back up, down to Nyes, back to Riley, to Matthews in the low corner on the baseline. Back to Riley. Pass over to the top of the high circle. Michelli working his way to the baseline. Tavares back to Michelli, back to Riley, down to Matthews on the low baseline, trying to work it across. Puck goes up in the air twice and is finally caught by Gibson. Dad's parents came to babysit me. Little sister, my dad's dad had it on Nightmares that night. I was about 6-year-old. That was it. If you were about 6 years old, I'm going to go ahead and assume, as you are a father, that was years ago. No, I definitely get that shit, man. There's still stuff that when I was a kid, and for me, there's a lot of silly stuff that I'm like, nah, I don't need to watch it, don't need to see it. because it scared me as a kid, and I just haven't. It still bothers me. Tavares gets the puck to the middle of the point to Riley. Riley goes to Michelli. Down to the bottom of the top circle. Back to Riley. A shot from way out high. Hits bodies out front and gets knocked down. Riley recovers. Middle of the blue line. Skates it in. Bottom of the low circle. Matthews has it goes off his skate. Back to Riley. Top dot. Michelli trying to center it to Nyes. And Kopp was in the way. Puck back out to neutral. Riley trying to feed it up ahead. Michelli gets back across with Nyes on his right. Gets the puck to Nyes. Great pass back to Matthews. His shot goes wide. Matthews recovers. Low dot. Tries to get it up to center. Domi able to cut through and get it to Nyes. Back to Matthews. Sorry, that's Tavares, not Domi. McCabe down to the baseline. Cross. Matthews again could not collect it. Goes way back out up top, and McCabe sends one that Gibson stops. McCabe again, low point across the blue line to Matthews. Past to Michelli at the bottom of the low circle. Back to McCabe. Top of the low circle. Matthews from the middle tries to get it to Tavares. Low baseline, and he can't connect. Loose puck gets sent back the other way by Detroit, and we are back to full strength hockey. 5 shots on the power play for Toronto. What a try by the Maple Leafs. Gibson just bricking them, though. Dude, that was, I don't know, man. That was a very fun power play to watch, though. Okay, apparently I'm just, let me find my charger. I'm not as far back as I thought I was, which is cool. Puck off the oh man. Okay, here we go. This is the physicality I was talking about when we came back from intermission. Big shot coming in from Sider left, wide open, stopped by Wool. That was a display of good offensive control by Toronto and just an absolute brick wall of a goalie in Josh Gibson. Like, dude, Gibson, if he was more consistent, he would be, $6 million goalie. Wall battling for it in the high corner under heavy pressure. Ooh, Wall looks like he just caught an elbow, still going for it against Casper now. Now Robertson taking a couple of cross checks from Sedin Palika. I believe that might have actually been Bernard Docker. I can't remember. I can't keep those two straight right now. It was Bernard Docker. I mean, everything. His son is wondering what your favorite NFL team is. I do not have one. I truly despise professional football. I mean, Miami Hurricanes all the way. I was born in Hollywood Hospital in Florida, which is right next to Miami. So I'm a Miami Hurricane guy for life. I was a Dolphins fan for a long time. I really enjoyed watching the Ravens when they had Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and Willis McGahee. I used to like watching the Redskins when they had Sean Taylor and Santana Moss. Like, I like watching my Hurricanes go pro. So watching Frank Gore and, like I said, Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and Vince Wilfork. Like, I just like watching the Hurricanes play. This year, I'm watching more pro football just because the Chiefs have nothing to do with it. But I am not. Son hates the Ravens. Fair enough. I'm guessing a New England fan then. Or no, duh, Pittsburgh fan, right? Duh. My bad. Don't. I know. All right. Yeah, of course. That's one of those. Of course, I can absolutely. But no, I have a really hard time watching any football, mostly because a backhand pass interrupted by the skate of Benoit. You got a 2-on-1 potential. Michelli takes the shot. Big right pad save by Gibson. Detroit heading back the other way to brink it all the way across the ice. Tipped by Tavares, and it goes into the Detroit bench. Merks likes the Steelers. Yeah, that was. It's funny, Merks. And Little Merks. As soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh no, duh!" Like, come on, buddy. That we know this by now. But no, the Steelers. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now that Tomlin's gone. I'm curious to see who's going to end up filling that spot. My dad and I were talking about it, and I would love to see Cignetti just abandon Indiana and go to Pittsburgh to coach the Steelers. I think that would be hysterical, especially because like I had a lot of respect for Cignetti until the halftime interview where all he did was bitch about the referee. And it's like, dude, there's a difference between coach doing it and fans doing it and that shit, but for him to bitch about it when all kinds of stuff was happening, like anybody that says the referees were trash, yes, I can have a conversation with you from that point on. But everybody's like, Miami got away with murder. It's like, dude, let's go watch the tape. Like, come on. Anyway, so don't really watch NFL as you know, hockey fan. Yeah. Oh yeah, like it's when football is good, it is fun to watch. The problem the last few years is that football has been horrible, and anybody who says that it's like it was rigged, I couldn't argue anymore. Like I'm not saying it 100% was, but how the hell do you defend a lot of the shit that happened? And it's like I can't watch anymore. And especially 2020 around then when everything got political, I could not stand every post game interview having a guy who's getting paid 30, or let's say $15 million a year to play football, talking about how fucking hard life is and shit. And I couldn't take it anymore. So I just stopped watching. And then I peeked in because I want to see how Cam Ward was doing. I wanted to see how Restrepo was doing. Then he got hurt. Big trip as Van Riemsdyk takes down Michelli with 10.5 to go in the second period. Toronto going on the power play. Shots are 19-17 in favor of Toronto. Yeah, Van Riemsdyk went down, and as he went down, he said, I'm taking you with me. Oh, wait. This one.
Shame.
This one.
Shame.
There we go.
Shame. Shame.
But yeah, I like I said, this year has been a little more fun to watch because I don't care who's in it. Hey man, nothing like getting the heart flowing. You go, what Tavares trying to make a move. Good Detroit sticks. Riley gets it all the way across the ice. Michelli back to Riley at the blue line. Everybody in position. Matthews at the baseline. Back to Riley from the low dot. Hits Larkin's stick and breaks it. But Larkin's able to deflect it wide of the net. Puck back on the low boards. Matthews to Riley across the blue line. Back to Matthews. Trying to go to Michelli through the broken stick. It gets to him, but I'm not sure about that decision. Matthews with a big one-timer stop by the left shoulder of Gibson. Matthews again from the low dot looking. He shoots and he hits somebody out front. Puck goes off the back glass and all the way down the wall. Gibson. What a beast. But yeah, Merch, you got to get your ass kicked by your son while you can. There's going to be a day you wish you did. But, oh, what a great job by Domi, who cannot get it past Gibson, and then Gibson swallows another one up. Josh Gibson just absolutely taking on the world right now. No, that's not what I wanted. Come on. John Gibson. See, it's funny. I kept saying Josh, and as I'm saying, I'm like, that's not right. I don't know why I keep calling him Josh. A lot more up a little. Here we go. Yeah, good luck, buddy. Puck off of the face-off in the Detroit zone. There was a battle, but McCabe ends up getting it around to the high boards. 30 seconds left on the power play. McCabe coming down from the blue line, gets it to Domi. Robertson behind the Detroit net, looking for a place to go. He goes up the high wall to Domi, going across the middle, misses everybody. And Detroit is able to get it all the way back behind Wool. McCabe circling as we get down. 1 second and 5-on-5 with 8.5 to go in the second. Puck into the Detroit zone, swung around, beats Edmondson. Robertson misplays it, and the puck goes back. No icing. I don't know who played it, so I'm slightly confused there. I thought I did. Robertson eventually gets it to Benoit as he's crashing it into the Detroit zone. Shot from a hard angle hits Gibson in the crest, and he swallows it up. Man, they just said Josh Gibson has been a difference maker. My dude has been the game decider right now. What else is going on in the world as we wait? Because again, 6 o'clock is the closest next game. And I was hoping we would hit intermission in time for that game to start. Yeah, makes sense. It's an invitation to join this new piece. Dude, all the coaching stuff happening in the NFL is another reason why I might check it out again. It kind of depends how the rest of the postseason goes. Because again, I'm sick of seeing the Chiefs get away with murder. I'm sick of watching, calls be lopsided one way, guys getting treated different. I'm sick of seeing, it's incredible you can make physical contact with anybody in football anymore without it being a penalty. Because for the most part, it is a penalty, but you know what I mean? It is just, it's become ridiculous what guys are getting fined for, what calls are getting made and what calls are getting not made or not getting made. But it's been, I can't even say that because the interception and the completion, the Bears versus what happened with Broncos, and I forgot who they played, the Bills. Yeah. And a short 14-1. That was a very, very fast game. But yeah, it's that's it for now. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So the shots are already up to 23-17 in favor of Toronto. 12 minutes into the second period. We started this period with Detroit having 15, I believe. Isn't that what we said? My phone's being a little slow right now. Domi just put another one on Gibson that he freezes. Yeah, the shots are 11-2 this period, more than halfway through. Yeah, 15, yeah. Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, it's still been fun. You had the power plays that Toronto couldn't quite take advantage of, but they're having opportunities. Again, Josh Gibson isn't just a factor. He is the game changer right now. And shout out to Wool. He's made a couple of really big saves as well, but Gibson has just been on his head. Got whiffed on by Domi, I think. Yep, going back the other way. Detroit into the Toronto zone. Top of the high circle shot. Good stop by the blocker, Wool. And McMahon makes his way to the red line and dumps it back in. Johansson gets there first off the skate of a Toronto player. McMahon able to recover deep in the corner. Detroit eventually able to get to neutral, right back into the Detroit zone. Tavares slightly wrapped up around Edmondson. And then Tavares goes down kind of awkwardly, kind of belly flopped. Detroit now able to get it back. Casper not able to get it deep into the zone, though. So I was trying to comment talking here. Yeah, no, you're good, bro. Soderblom to the high corner. And Stetcher makes his way up and out of the zone. Detroit recovers almost immediately. Soderblom into the zone, just blast right through Nice. Soderblom's a big boy. He just crunched down on Stetcher. Eventually, puck comes loose. Michelli misses the pass to Stetcher across the ice. Detroit recovers in their own zone. Sherratt all the way up ahead. Appleton on the low wall sets up Rasmussen in the low corner. Back to the low points. Shot by Sherratt, fought off above the crease. Stetcher now trying to get past Soderblom on the way out, and he eventually does. Sherratt back to Bernard Docker. Back to Sherratt on the low boards. Into the Toronto zone behind the net. Stetcher gets there first, but a little bit of a misplay against Edmondson. Detroit has control from the blue line. Shot hits bodies out front. And now Stetcher has a broken stick. Back out high. Johansson looking for something to go with. He gets free. Trying to backhand. Puck's loose. It's still loose. Wool not able to get a glove on it. Puck into the low corner, going up the low boards and on his stomach. Toronto's able to get it to the blue line. Johansson able to glove it and keep it in. Lorentz just caught a high stick. And that's going to be another Detroit penalty. Again, what a fantastic game we ended up on tonight. I was not sure what to expect. I do believe that if Josh Gibbs, or I keep calling him Josh, if John Gibson was playing 5% less of what he's playing right now, this game would be 3-1, 4-1. But for John Gibson, man, he is absolutely working it between the pipes. Toronto's getting on it too. I mean, it's not like he's occasionally making a save. He's all over the place. His pads are just, I don't see him getting beat, on the lower half of the goal. I said, Wool on the other side has been fantastic as well. As of right now, Gibson did get beat. He actually got beat over his glove versus Wool, who more or less, I don't think it was a power play goal, but more or less got beat by a position because the defense kind of tracked one-sided. Maybe I'm thinking it the other way around. I might have that reversed. My brain's already mush. Anyway, you have a position beat and you have a beat, the glove side beat. I'm going to give, I actually give the advantage to the glove side beat. Oh, Lawton just straight up cross-checked Rasmussen in the face. And then Lorentz trying to go and help out Yarncroc. Oh, no, they got Yarncroc for holding the stick. I thought they caught the high stick on Detroit. Okay. Never mind. Redwings power play. Haven't seen this since the start of the first period. Wings win the faceoff to the high dot. Stolen. Tavares sends it back the other way. Lawton has a step. That is absolutely a hook. It was a little bit of a hug in the stick, but it looked like a hook to me, going back the other way, or a hold. Let's probably call it a hold. Top of the blue line. Down into the high corner. McCabe playing straight body, separating the puck. And Lawrence is able to flip it all the way down to the Detroit baseline. Sider recovering. He'll leave it back. Raymond leaves it to his left to Larkin, and he gets stripped. Puck back on net to Gibson. Sider will collect again. Decides to make a move through the center. 60 seconds left on the power play. Casper cutting through. Gets it back to Sider, who crosses to Kane. Kane working down the low wall. He'll send it to the low point. Edvinsson across the blue line. Casper back down to Kane. Cop crashing the net. Kane could not get it through. Cop has it, fed it out front, and the finish was not there. Next to his house. Yeah, no. Do your thing, man. Kane recovering from the low wall. Gets it to Comfer, who crosses. Edvinsson in on the high boards. Under pressure, is not handling it well from Lawrence. Able to get it out into neutral. Lawton recovers. A misplay defensively. Lawton has a step. And you've got a hook. 9 seconds left on the Detroit power play. And Edvinsson is going to the box for a hook on Lawton. At least for what looked like a hook on Lawton. Let's see it here. Ooh. Okay, no. Lawton made... No. Okay, Edvinsson made a good play. Kane got him on the hands. They got the wrong guy. 100% got the wrong guy. So, we're going to play both of them. Lawton entering the zone, looking for a place to go from the high dot, reaching to the center, looking for a backhand, and he loses the puck. Gibson Lawton inches the puck to Gibson for the easy block and cover. Yep, just tries to make one move too many, going from the backhand back to the forehand. Gibson reading it the whole way, stand up high, his knees. Dude, Gibson still has quick knees. Yeah, cheers, buddy. Man, Lawton just everything going for him except control of the puck. Brutal. So with 8 seconds to go on the Detroit power play. Oh, never mind. So it was not... Okay, like I said, he got a penalty shot instead of a power play. Face off to the right of Gibson. Tavares in on it with... Who is that? Rasmussen. Face off won by Detroit. Johansson through the middle of his own zone. Goes low boards. Trying to make a move. Detroit loses the puck again. Tavares trying to beat down Sherratt. Johansson comes away with it. Backhand through neutral. Swatted down, not out of the zone. Rasmussen recovers, but immediately loses it under the pressure of Tavares. Michelli down to Stetcher. Benoit up to Nyes, who cannot control the puck. And Detroit recovers behind their own net. Benoit putting on heavy pressure. Puck comes through to Rasmussen. A great play by Matthews. Looking to Nyes, and Nyes can't connect. He whiffs on the shot at the empty net. That was their opportunity to beat Gibson once again. And Nyes just not able to take advantage of the great play by Matthews. Who goes storming in and gets a shot on Gibson. But Gibson makes the save. Edvinsson separating the puck. Detroit's able to work all the way into the zone. Casper to Larkin. Big stop by Wool. And Larkin looking for Raymond on the pass as Raymond crashes the net, was interrupted. Domi able to take it back all the way. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that stuff happens. It's like typically, as long as there's no fire, no bang bang, the best you can do is pray for the people next door and hope for the best, you know? I'm kind of surprised they called that a hand pass. But then Matthews, what a play by Matthews, carrying it in, getting the pass back to Nyes, and Nyes just missed. And then again on the stretch passes, he takes the Detroit zone, just making moves to work behind the net or get to crash the net and then work behind it. Blah. Face off on the high dot just outside the Toronto zone. Detroit wins it, and Sherratt sends it in on Wool. McCabe recovers in the high corner, sends it below the net, and Wall takes it to Robertson, who catches McCabe skating in hard into the zone. Shot from the high dot, and it is stopped by Gibson. 1:15 to go in the second period. Again, I was really hoping we would have this period would take a little bit longer, but just like the first period, man, we're burning through. If tonight watch the game, hey, good luck to you, man. I don't know how the strictness goes, so I don't have a whole lot of comment about it, but good luck to you, brother. Face off, Tavares. Nope. Detroit ends up winning it. DeBrincat going all the way across corner through neutral. And now DeBrincat in on the other side. A good left pad save by Wool. Wool's laid out, but DeBrincat can't make the play as he ends up stuffing it under Wool's pad. Complete chaos at the front of the net. Wool makes a good stop, and then the puck just takes a little odd bounce. Yeah, the puck hit something. What did it end up hitting right there? It took this weird bounce, and all of a sudden, as Wool's trying to go back to his left, he has to cut again back towards the baseline. Yeah, leaving it in a chat isn't going to help you much, brother. Carlo to the red line, shot from the high point. Wool's going to catch it and hang on to it. Yes. Yeah, dude. Wool is, dude, 368. That's what we were looking at earlier. Toronto's on a 4-goal against average. Wool's sitting at like a 388. We ended up with 6 on them. It surprises. It surprises me because they've won 7 out of 8 of the last games. Here goes Matthews the other way. Toronto taking control of the zone, trying to get it down to the low corner. Matthews loses the fight with Seider. Gets it to Raymond as Detroit takes the zone, and he can't get the shot through, and then McCabe just kicks Seider's ass, buries him. Right on, brother. Puck down into the low corner, sent back the other way behind the net. Eventually, Seider trying to swat it out. We got 10 seconds to go in the period. Larkin able to get it out through neutral. We have potentials. Take the shot, dude. Oh, and what a hit by Benoit on Raymond and Van Riemsdyk and Edvinsson. Everybody's going at everybody. I don't know why. That was a great hit. We're going to have some, right on, brother. We're going to have something to watch in the third period because I thought that was a great hit. McCabe blasted somebody early. I already forgot who, but right there, Raymond went in and McCabe just hit the shit out of him. Or, sorry, Benoit. I mean, Benoit just blasted Raymond, but Raymond's the one that skated in wanting to take the shot. That was a clean hit. That was absolutely a clean hit. But all right, since we don't have any hockey going on till 6, we're gonna go on the BRB screen for the next 15 minutes or so for intermission. So we're gonna go back to the tunes, and I'll see you guys in a little bit here. Yeah, I might have done some things a little backwards that might get me in trouble for copyright and shit. I just realized that. No, because I did it. Okay, sorry. Now my brain's thinking about all the stuff I don't need to be thinking about. Come on. Hang on. We're just about a minute and a half into the third period. Shots are 26-23 in favor of Toronto. Make that 26-24 in favor of Toronto. Gotta do this. Gotta wait for the option to pop out the window, and then I can fast forward and catch up to where we actually should be. Any minute now. There we go. I want to wait because we're far behind. All right, face off on the other side of the ice. Okay, I was like, oh crap, did it rewind me somehow? But no, we are on the opposite side of the ice. Comfer and Michelli getting ready to face off. Line Joe's having a conversation with Michelli. Puck back behind. Gibson up the high wall. Nice coming over and putting some pressure down. Riley with the shot hits the elbow of one of the Detroit defensemen. Puck sent back up to the point, loose in front of the net. Good job. Right out front. Who is that? Oh, that's Sedin Palika. Now puck in the opposite way. Across the blue line, Sider from the low point misses the net low side. Edvinsson can't get across the blue line in time. He'll have to retreat all the way back into his own zone. To Sider, to Edvinsson. Back up the other way. He'll go high boards. Shot stopped by the crest of Wool into the corner. Detroit controlling in the zone. Sider from the low point. Another shot stopped by Wool. And a third shot stopped by Wool. Again, great goaltending from both sides. Gibson has definitely been the stud. He's been making some outstanding blocks, but man, Wool is having himself a game. Puck tipped in by Rasmussen goes up and out of play. We'll head back to neutrals. 17 and a quarter to go in the third. Shots are tied 27-27. I'm not sure if I want to press my luck, but may have to peek in on Colorado and Anaheim. Whoa. See, the shot attempts are 54-47. That's roughly 50% from both sides. Making it to the net is pretty good. We'll stopping a puck from all the way down the far end. And Matthews makes a great play to send Toronto the other way. Detroit, great job getting back. Little interference hooky there, but not going to worry about it as Sherratt dumps it in and around Wool. Down into the low corner. Riley beats Kane to the puck. Coming back the other way is Domi. And he'll head out of the zone. Got McMahon on his left. But he takes it in all the way to the corner. Tries to go behind the net. Can't get it there. As he ends up hitting the bottom of the net. Back the other way. Sider takes a bump from Benoit as he gets it in. Benoit, the one that absolutely laced, dude, right at the end of the second period. I already forgot who it was that he hit. Who did Benoit hit right there at the end of the period? I don't know anymore. But it was a blast, dude. Benoit and McKay both got a hard hit right at the end of that second period. And it started to bring on a lot more of the physicality that I was expecting. Nyes has gone to the dressing room. Oh, man. And now we're buffered up. Hang on. See if we can get caught up again. Gotta wait for the pop out again so we can get caught up. Little under 5 minutes gone in the third period. All right, let's get ahead here. Let's hope it stays ahead without buffering. Do, do, do. Do, do. It's gonna keep buffering, ain't it? All right, face off to the right of Gibson. Tavares on the dot against Larkin. Let's try it again. Judges need to start dropping the fucking puck. Plain and simple. All the way back into Toronto territory. Riley gets it to Michelli into the zone. Going on top of the high circle. Robertson was waiting, but the pass is deflected. Comfer sends it the other way. Carlo versus Comfer. Carlo gets there first. Michelli and Riley battling with Sider for it. Oh, no, with Finney for it. Puck ends up at the blue line. Wool is on his ass, but he's able to get up. Good help from the defenseman for the Maple Leafs. Little swing at the puck by Carlo, and it is up and out of the zone. Leafs get a change. Edmondson goes right back in. Van Riemsdyk sends it around. Up on the high corner. Little battle for it. Finney ends up going down as he just kind of got his feet crossed up. 5 minutes gone in the third. Still sitting 1-1. Shots are 29-27 Wings. And in Colorado, in Colorado, Ducks versus the Avalanche. Less than 3 minutes gone in the period, and Colorado is getting their first power play. I would very much expect to see a 1-0 game very shortly here. Stetcher gets up the ice off the face-off in his own zone, but it quickly comes right back. Benoit tries to do the same, but ends up on the stick of Rasmussen inside the zone, going back down low. Stetcher battling against Soderblom. Goes back up to the corner, and Sherrod is not able to get it past. Ooh, Lawton with a great stop up just inside the zone, but a little too weak of a pass to set in the crashing Leaf. Riley now gets it up high to Wall into the zone. Great move, just making himself skinny, but he leaves himself a little bit too much room. Great back check, though. What a recovery by Nick Wall. 6 minutes gone in the period. Shots 29-27 in favor of Detroit. Sider sets up Kane. Now pass comes back to Kane into the zone. DeBrincat sends it up high. Shot by Coppin. Saved by Wool. What are they showing? What law? Oh. Rod just getting a cross check by Lawton. Lawton just giving him one back. Dude, let's get the physicality directed to when play is happening, huh? All right, what was the penalty against Anaheim? It just says 2-minute minor. Well, take a quick look at this one. 60 seconds gone in the Anaheim power play. Natchez trying to make a move at the low dot. A good stick to interrupt the setup and force the shot to be late. Oh, if he went past to McKinnon instead of going for the shot, it would have, not saying anything good would have come from it, but oof. The opportunity was there. Colorado controlling McKinnon down the low boards to the low baseline. Makes a great move to the middle, a shot. Great stop by the Anaheim goaltender. Back to the top, Makar looking for a place to go, and his shot gets stopped up high. Natchez back to Makar. Shot from McKinnon, top of the high circle, ends up on the low boards, and that puck goes up and out of play. Olofsson, I forgot about Olofsson. I didn't realize he was playing in Colorado. That makes so much. He makes a lot of sense as a lower line guy for Colorado. Not even, I mean, like a third or fourth line. Like, 30 seconds on the power play there, but we are back in Toronto. Domi takes the pass as he enters neutral zone, gives it to McCabe across the blue line, sends it down for Matthews to chase. Kopp giving a little bit of pressure along with Johansson. Puck comes up to Domi at the blue line, but Detroit's going to take it back the other way. Good little move at the center by DeBrincat. Leaves it for Kane at the low point. Great attempt on the tip by Kopp. Good job by Wool. Puck back into that corner. Going up high. Sedin Palika puts one on target and is fought off by the pad of Wool. Another shot goes through the crease, missing everything. Low point, that looked like it might have been out of the zone, but no offsides, and it is caught by Wool to freeze it. 7 minutes gone in the third period. Shots at 31-27, Detroit Red Wings. That quick little turn, slow roller, or slow slider on the ice could have been very dangerous. Tavares facing off against Larkin in the Toronto zone. Won by Tavares. Sent around, and a quick turnover leads to a quick shot. McCabe able to get to the free puck. And now Nye's breaking through, coming back. He was back in the locker room momentarily, but he is back on the ice. Seider makes the pass up ahead to Raymond. He's got help on his right. Everybody crashing. He leaves the puck for Edmondson. Shoots, and it is sent off the low boards all the way back down to the Red Wings zone. Seider from behind his own net goes up the low boards, leaves it for Edmondson. And Edmondson is going to leave it back for Seider. A little bit of speed, he hits the red line and dumps it through. Woll misses it. Back to the high point, but nobody for Detroit. Home defenseman went for a change. Sent back in from neutral, but Toronto has time. Riley behind Wool. Leaves it up for Wall. Stretch pass, trying to catch Cowan. Turned over to Detroit in the Detroit zone. And the puck from neutral on a stretch pass goes up into the crowd off the stick of McCabe. Yeah, Nyes was thinking he had a little bit better opportunity. And I mean, he was just a little too slow. It's not even that, really. Detroit was just a little too quick to get sticks in the way to cause a bouncing puck and force him to reach for it. Good defensive play. Oh, I just realized I was on the wrong game. Like, how is the face-off percentage 80%? It's actually 55-45. All right, Maple Leafs trying to go back the other way. Detroit's able to get it back out of their zone. Rasmussen kicking it up ahead, and it's sent in and around. Appleton trying to chase down below the net. Puck comes in. Rasmussen gets there. Soderblom trying to do work in that high corner. That dude, Soderblom's got to get a little bit better at using his big-ass body. He needs to get his hips lower. Ooh, that looked offsides. No call. Shot by Soderblom goes high and wide. Battle for the puck below the net. Rasmussen gets it taken from him by Lawton. And it is back through neutral. Soderblom sets up Edmondson. Gets it to Sider. Back down to DeBrincat. And he'll leave it off for Kane. Into the Toronto zone on the low boards. Stops up. Top of the low circle. Hits a body. Sider hits a body with that shot. Now McMahon just a little too slow, man. That's twice. He's just a hair too slow. And the good aggressive sticks by Detroit. Kane able to get it deep into the Toronto zone to bring it alone behind the net. Kane's free out front, but a good collapse by McCabe and McMahon prevents Kane from getting that shot off. Carlo tries to go up the wall. It's caught by Cobb. He sets up to Brinkett in the middle, who loses it in his own skates, and Matthews eventually takes it away from him. With Domi back to Matthews. Backhand on target. Stop by Gibson. Puck kept in at the point. Domi looking for a place to go. He goes low point to Riley. Across to the top of the low circle, and the pass is missed by Stetcher. Larkinen takes a shot from deep against Riley, and Wool is able to swallow it up and freeze the puck. 9:44 to go in the third period. Like I said, they left a Brinkett all alone behind the net. You had Kane out of everybody. You had Kane crashing, and McCabe and McMahon did a good job. Yeah, hey, I'm down. It's been a minute since I went fishing for brown trout. You just waking up, brother? Oof. Ooh. Dude, AI really is the gift that keeps on giving, man. I mean, I enjoy it because I use it for like the BRB screens and stuff when I'm just super lazy about trying to make things, but damn it, man. The AI, like, oh, it's been great. Yeah, I've been up like an hour or so. Weird. We got like 10 minutes of game time left. Oh, and then what's going on with the stream? Still losing frames. Man, it was doing so good. All right, there. But up to just this, man. I didn't stream Monday because of the national championship game, and then we lost, which made it worse. And no shit. All right, it looks like it finally stabilized. Dude, I had the oh no, there it goes. Whatever. Whatever. I put new thermal paste on the CPU, and my temperatures dropped by like 20 degrees on average. So if you are having computer problems now that you got all the dust and shit out of there, you might need to get, a $5 or $6 tube of thermal paste and get that replaced. It's not hard. You just got to be careful. And I'm willing to bet I'm willing to bet things start running better. Because if you haven't done that since you bought the computer, I've done it twice. Oh, no, he doesn't have a helmet. How is this not a penalty? Wait. How is that not a Toronto penalty? Hang on a second here. Okay, that should have been a penalty on Detroit because Larkin ripped his helmet off, but it should have been a penalty on Nyes because he played the puck instead of leaving the ice. How is that not a penalty? Both of those should have been penalties. I don't understand what just happened. Whatever. If I need to, yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna do it with my GPU because like I tried to render with my GPU and the temp immediately goes to 105 degrees, which is way too hot. Oh, official down hard. We've got a line judge down hard. But yeah, I figured if it dropped my CPU that much, I have to be able to get at least like 10 to 20 degrees out of the GPU. So I'm going to take it apart, replace the thermal paste, and I'm going to take the back plate off because it's a plastic back plate. So all it's doing is trapping the heat. So I'm a hope I can do that and then start rendering with my GPU. Cause dude, to render, what did I render? Oh, it was on my other. So I made like smoke jets, and it took an hour to render with the CPU. And it's a 15-second thing. And it took an hour to render. So I'm like, okay, I really like to use my GPU for that, but it gets so fucking hot. All right, the face-off in neutral after the line judge went down. Goes into the Toronto zone. Trying to make a play was Wool, but he was a little too slow. Domi got taken out by flying body. Sherratt puts it on target. Domi hits that one. Ends up behind the net. McMahon now able to get it through neutral. Just chaos, man. Here comes the physicality we've been waiting for. Soderblom gets it deep, beats everybody there. Not quite. Stetcher able to get a good stick on it before Ben Wall gets shoved out of the way. Here goes Nick Wall with speed. Misses Robertson. Ooh, a little slash right there that we're going to go ahead and not worry about. Wall's getting his ass kicked. All the way back the other way. Carlo has it in front of Wool. Robertson sets it back to Riley, gets it all the way up ahead, but Cowan taps it in before Gibson makes the play. Now Detroit just across neutral, recovered by Toronto. Robertson from the top of his own circles feeds Riley across the line. Cowan working up the low boards. Riley chasing it down against Sedin Pelika, and Pelika does the good job separating from the puck. All right, 7 1/4 to go in the third. Shots at 34-28, still tied 1-1. Oh, man. Back is killing me. Ooh. All right, Lawton got kicked out of the circle. Lawrence takes his place. Ooh, a little bit of a flippy floppy up and down, sloppy puck before, excuse me, Casper's able to get in deep, but Larkin loses it on the way out. And now Lawton is chasing it down against Sider. Lawrence in to help Larkin by Sider's side. Casper comes in. Lawrence comes away with it to the low point. McCabe down the low wall. Behind the net, Sider catches it. Not able to complete the pass. And Toronto will keep it inside only momentarily. And they finally lose it. Lawton not able, or Stetcher not able to make the play to keep it in. Raymond sends it for Edvinsson. Edvinsson ahead to Sider. Sider on target to Wool, who sets up McCabe. Everybody getting to change. 6 1/4 to go in the third. Riley dumps it deep. Tavares chasing. Sherratt there first. Puck up the low boards and sent out off the body of Michelli. Then it hits somebody else. Like, dude, this is just all chaos right now. I'm kind of loving this. Tavares back the other way. Tries to set up Nice, who was off balance, but he's able to get the puck back to Tavares. What a stop by John Gibson. God, that guy has been impressive tonight. One of the better performances, like goalie performances I've watched in a long time for both sides, but really for John Gibson. Shot by Rasmussen, gloved by Wool. 5.5 to go in the third, and we got lucky with this game. I haven't had, when we played Toronto and we won in overtime 6-5. It was the first game back in a while. Man, that was such a great game. I had so much fun watching it. And this is definitely a close second over the past couple of weeks. This really has been a fun game to watch. And it helps that I have I don't care who wins. It doesn't affect, I generally like both sides, all players on both teams. Doesn't matter for our division or conference. It doesn't matter for anything. So it's not often you get a game that you don't care about. That's really, really fun. Or I should say, it's not often that I get a game that I don't care about. That's really fun to watch. Oh, what's all going on, dude? My typical watches aren't streaming, man. Like D-Day Cobra ain't streaming. That's usually like my 6:30, 7 o'clock kick it. And if I don't have them, then I got like Vegas Mad to sit back and watch while he loses a shit ton of money. But man, I don't even have that going right now. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think unless Vegas plays at early, like Thursday, Friday, we play at 4. Unless Vegas plays early, I don't know how many 4 o'clock games I'm doing anymore. It seems like the 7 o'clock crowd is a little more around. You know what I mean? I want to try and figure something out too, because I just know, I know you can do the vertical streaming automatically. I kind of want to figure that out too. Fed to the low point. Sider throws it all the way across to Domi. Dumps it deep into the high corner. Back up the wall. Domi is going to be able to get it clear. Oh, free to Matthews. He's got a step and a great defensive play before Matthews takes out Gibson. Sider just made a very good play. Matthew, that absolutely should have been goalie interference on Matthews from what I saw. Now you got 2 guys locked up behind the play. Puck back into the Toronto zone. McCabe with space gets it all the way up ahead. McMahon doesn't get it. He's going to go for the hit on Johansson. He doesn't give a damn about the puck. McMahon's in hit mode. He doesn't care about hockey. That may end up costing Toronto. Depends on how he plays on his next shift. Oh, Toronto makes a good play through neutral, but then goes offsides. All right, let's see. That was a great pass, but then Matthews. I'd like an explanation as to why that's not goalie interference. He was not forced into the goalie. He took the path to the goalie and hit him. I mean, I guess they're saying he tried his best to stop, and so therefore, but I I said, it's not even necessarily. I don't know, man. I don't like the. Trying to decide if I like the no call or don't like the no call, and I'm struggling. I don't know. Face off to the left of Gibson. Johansson comes away with it. Wings are out of the zone. Great recovery against Stetcher, but McCabe's able to catch the puck and go the other way. Michelli gets it in. Tavares lets it ride. Johansson again trying to get it up to past the high point, and he gets it out. Absolute chaos happening. Like I said, this is fantastic, man. Oh, a hard cross check by Riley on Raymond. I'm not sure why that wasn't called. But hey, the refs are saying fuck it and play. We'll see who wants to take advantage of it. Ooh, Robertson not quite quick enough to get back and make a play. Ben Wall with his stick tied up, strong enough to beat. Oh boy, that thing Soderblom there. Soderblom's too big of a dude to be getting pushed around the way he is. Like I said, I think he needs to get his hips lower. He's standing straight up, going against the wall, going to the wall, and he's just getting flipped off balance. Like Stetcher's tiny compared to Soderblom, but he's able to get underneath him. Oh, trying to feed from behind the net up front. Detroit cannot connect. Robertson going back the other way, passed all the way across. Wall could not catch it. And now an icing back the other way as McKay beats Soderblom to the baseline. 3 minutes to go in the third. Yeah, Mitch Marner goes back to Toronto on Friday. We play Boston, and we'll be here at, I said 4 o'clock the next 2 days. I think they were showing the pregame. Friday. Yeah, 4 and 4. So it's funny. I don't really want to do the early games, but Vegas is on the East Coast, so we're doing 2 early games. You get like a 6-pack or something for Friday. That would be nice. Puck gets past Wool. Deep into the Toronto zone in the low corner. Everybody fighting for it. Again, a complete chaos. Finally, Carlo's able to come out with it. He ends up getting popped in the face by Kane stick. No call. Cobb down on the low boards. Gets the puck to the top of the high circle. Pass comes in, and McCabe makes a great defensive play to prevent Kane from following up on the loose puck. Need to get one for Saturday? Yeah. Dude, I would love to just have a bottle of bourbon, like even, or whiskey, just a cheap bottle of whiskey. Just hang out for the fights, or even some cheap beers, dude. Oh, that was, so Wool got lucky because it hit McCabe twice, and McCabe, hits his knee and goes right into his skate. That was about as lucky as Wool and McCabe could get to not allow one. Puck on the high wall. Looking for a place to go. Down into the high corner, and Toronto's going to come away with it. Under 2 minutes to play. Turnover, set back the other way. Casper comes in and can't get the shot through Stetcher. Little shove off on Casper as he goes for the puck. I don't get to be around him almost ever. Yeah, always working on a Saturday. Yeah, I'll definitely, dude, it's so funny because I want to come and kick it, but you know I struggle. Like, you and Josh, I'm good. Tom, if I don't have alcohol, it is hard for me. If I have alcohol, no worries. You don't even have to trip, dude. He's of course he's the homie. But when I without it, ooh, I struggle, man. Shot by Detroit. Puck comes all the way back off the low boards. Edmondson, with 70 seconds left, hits the red line and dumps it in around the low boards. Appleton trying to go against Benoit. Gets a little help from Soderblom. Soderblom and Benoit. Everybody's looking for the puck. Oh, so for anybody that doesn't know, down in the corners by the net, there's a little window for the photographers, and the photographer window was open. Anything in Tarkov? No. No, I spent all my money to finish the stash upgrade, and I've done almost nothing since. I might, it's like, I kind of want to do something though, just because I want to run Shoreline a little bit, just because apparently the spawns got changed on Shoreline. So I kind of want to look at that. I still, dude, I want to get to Lightkeeper, but no matter how much I run the maps that I can't find the damn transmitter, and it's pissing me off. So I'm like, I don't even want to do anything, because once I can get the Lightkeeper stuff done, once I can find a transmitter and I can start the Lightkeeper task, I'm good, because then I can advance the story as well as advancing the task for Lightkeeper. But I can't find the damn transmitter, and so it's made me just get more and more pissed. I've run every map I could possibly think. Like, I've run Lighthouse a million times. Yeah. Oh.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Oh, fuck. Whoops. I forgot that when I type, I forgot that my hotkeys are set up so that that shit goes off as I'm typing. That, like, I've checked reserve a million times. I've checked on streets a million times. I've checked on Lighthouse a bazillion times. I can't find the stupid transmitter. All right, 20 seconds to go. Johansson back in his own zone, gives it to Kane, leaves it back for Sherratt, back to Johansson. Turned over on the low boards. That's what you don't want to happen. And then Tavares just mauled Johansson. All right, and we are going into overtime. Like I said, we definitely picked the right game. Oh, I just opened up, try and do my daily, find and transfer, and I'm back out. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm sending out. I'm doing a scav junk box over and over. Occasionally making a moonshine to do that with. Otherwise, I'm just hitting the 95K over and over and over. Collect a Bitcoin or stash or a scav box. And I looked at it today because the other part is I need flash kills, and I'm annoyed because I keep hitting people with the flash and then killing them, and it's like, nope, apparently, like, it's one where the flash goes off right in their front of their face. I'm partially blinded because I'm watching it go off in front of their face. I shoot them and it doesn't count. And so I've just been like, you know what, screw it, dude. I'm over it. Need to just take in the shot, go into labs with the shotgun flash rounds and just do it that way. I said a big reason I'm interested in trying right now is just because I want to get myself back into being awake late so that I can start getting like I've been going to the gym during the day and I want to get back into going at like 11 o'clock at night. Damn, dude. Toronto just the last overtime, Detroit versus Toronto. All four skaters for Toronto fucked up. Can't get many of those rounds. I was gonna hop on and help somebody, but couldn't even buy the rounds yet for whatever reason. Yes. Yeah, I think I have some just from just because I've got like 9 ammo boxes and I just keep everything. But I'll have to look. I've just been buying flash grenades and they get out of position quick enough to screw me. All right, Larkin crossing neutral into the Toronto zone, leaves it back for Raymond. He'll take a shot and it's swallowed up by Wool. Face off coming in the Toronto zone. Dude, Toronto 7 for 7 on overtimes. Detroit 7 for 2. But I will say, D, after watching Sheaf, I don't know if you saw that. Sheaf did 16 transits, 17 maps, and ended up with like he killed Caban and Colante and Tagilla a bunch, and then finished off in Labyrinth to kill Shadow of Tagilla and Super Killer or whatever the fuck his name is. Shot saved by Wool. Larkin goes off the blocker of the Toronto goaltender, and it is out of the zone. But yeah, he ended up with 1.7 million XP. And ever since I've been watching him do that, I'm like, fuck, man, I want to try that. Like, gotta go boss hunting, but go boss hunting for 17 straight maps because the XP multiplier is massive at the end. But him doing that shit in PvP and actually a 1.7 million XP PvP run. Fucking insane, dude. Toronto cannot control the puck, and now Detroit's headed back into Brinkett. Leaves it off for Kopp. A quick shot stopped by Wool. Wrap around attempt to Brinkett. Can't put it in. It goes through the crease behind Wool, and his skaters finally help him out. 3 1/4 to go in overtime. Wool finally gets a little defensive help in front of the net in overtime. What a move by DeBrincat past Michelli, and the shot misses wide. Right out in front. Past to Edvinson, just misses Kopp's stick going back. Detroit is completely running everything about this overtime. As Detroit goes for a change, Leafs get one fresh body on. Kane throwing it back. Big shot by Casper. Stopped by Wool. Matthews might have a step. Trying to make a move. Quick shot. And he misses the net. What a move on Casper to get that puck towards the pipes. 2.5 minutes to go in overtime. Shots are 40-31 in favor of the Red Wings. Kane gets across, leaves it for Casper, makes a decent little move, but he gets stripped. And now Stetcher's going to buy some space. Matthews stops up at the blue line. Domi on the low side. Matthews leaves it for Domi. Shot hits the stick of Kane and goes up and out of play. Face off coming in front of Gibson. That give and go was so good, and Kopp just not, the pass was just in a tough spot and Kopp missed it. And then Matthews beat Gibson, had him drawn to the right post, but a little bit off on the aim. Shots are 5-0 in favor of Detroit. The attempts have to be like 15-3. Oh, good job. That's holding the stick. That should have been a penalty on Michelli. But it doesn't matter. Larkin scores off of the Sider pass, and then Sider just buried one of the Leafs. What a series of events, and what a fantastic hockey game. For the second time this season. And now Detroit has beaten Hildeby and Stellars in overtime. All right, we'll watch this again real quick. And then, D, if you end up getting the itch to run or anything, man, let me know. Sider just kicked his ass. Oh, and then who was that? McCabe was not paying attention. Sider's looking at the goal. And McCabe just comes in and gets his shit wrecked by Sider, who's not even paying attention. Sider's watching the goal go in. Yeah, and then absolutely McCabe comes flying in out of nowhere and just gets worked. Right on. All right. Great hockey game. Time to flip over. Time to grab something to eat and flip on Anaheim and Avalanche. So gonna go ahead and wrap up. Like I said, D, hit me up if you end up getting the urge, getting the itch. Otherwise, great. I mean, what a fantastic game. Gold scored early-ish on within the first 5 minutes of the first period. Second goal scored with 17 seconds left to go in the first period. And then it was a goalie battle, dude. What, like, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen, probably the last time I've seen a performance by a goalie like that was Lindbaum's first game against Tampa on the second half of the Florida back-to-back. Yeah. And we played like, our guys played like shit, but Lindbaum was a beast. And right there, both goalies, Wool and Gibson, were just monsters. Gibson a little bit above Wool, but both of them were monsters, man. That was awesome. What a fun game. All right. Well, Bruins 4:00 tomorrow. D, if like I said, D, if you're doing anything, if you get the itch to run, hit me up. Otherwise, that will do it for me. And I will see you guys early tomorrow evening. Good night, everybody.